Hello everyone, today's tutorial is a little on the large side, as you can see. Now, to make a wedding cake or a birthday cake from a book, the taller the book you use, the better. I saved this from the bin, it was going to be thrown out. So there we go, it's going to get repurposed, it's not getting binned, it's going to get made into something hopefully very stunning. Now, this book is it's about 36 centimetres. Now, when you do a wedding cake like the one at the beginning of the video, the bigger the book, the more stunning it's going to look. You can do smaller ones, it's up to you, but if you can get a big book, then it's going to be much better. So it's usually things like what the Times have done, or big road atlases and things like this. Now this book, all in, has got 416 pages. I'm not going to use this part or this part, so I'm going to draw the pattern that we need on this part. We won't need this either, but I'm not going to throw this out because I might use this for something. Now, what you need to do is, to get the layers on the cakes, section the book into 3. So 3 into 36 is 12, which is perfect for me because my maths is absolutely rubbish. So what we're going to do is, we are going to mark up here, we're going to mark 12 centimetres, then it'll be 24, and then your last 12 are going to be this bottom part, so that should be 12. It's just a little shy of 12, but that is fine. Then what you have to do is you have to do it on the other side as well. It's just so that we have a little guide. So that's 12, then 24, and what we have left. Now we're going to tear this page out, so don't worry. Just use, the more pages you have to make the cake, the better. But this paper is quite thick, so it is going to do quite well for the cake. The other one I did, it only had 300 pages and it turned out really well. But you can use more, but I wouldn't use any less. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be the top layer. This is going to be the middle layer, and this is the bottom layer. So once we've drawn the lines, these are going to be our cut line. Now what you have to do is, you have to take this page and fold it into the spine. Keep your edges level here. Now just fold it into the spine. Now I don't have a bone folder. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, or you're going to need a knife. I use a Stanley knife, but you can use big scissors. Now, you folded it in half, and then we're going to fold it again. Now this is only to get the measurements for where we're going to fold the cake. Now open it back up again. The bottom section only gets folded in one quarter. The middle section gets folded in half. The top section only gets folded into 1/4. So you don't need this part. So this part here is going to get cut out. I'll see if I can move it along a bit. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut halfway in. Cut halfway in and cut 3/4 way in. here. So we need to leave these two. This part we're going to cut away. Now we don't need that, throw that away. Now this is what you've got left with. When you start to fold your book, you will fold this part to here. This one will be folded to here, and this one is only folded to there. So that is the pattern. This is our pattern. So what we have to do is we have to cut through these pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pencil. Now that's a cut line. So that's a cut line. And this one we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that, and we're going to cut that. And we're going to cut that. So this is the pattern we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my book around this way. Now it is quite large. I'm going to take my cutting mat. I'm going to pop my cutting mat underneath the book. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down here, this line. So we're going to cut that one. And we're going to cut this section out. Just one cut, and then cut this section out, so that we are left with this pattern. So we're going to cut here and cut here. That one will fold over to there. This part will fold. This one will fold right over to here. And once we've cut this one will fold to here. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some of these pages. There's one more thing that you need to do. You need to make a little notch so that you can see where to fold this one to. This one, I need to fold further up to there. What am I doing? Sorry about that, you need to cut up to here. This is so that you can fold the page. So you can fold it like that. Should do. So the width of this is where we need to make a little notch here. You can either take a pencil and mark a line, I've got myself a little serrated knife and I am just going to cut I'm going to cut a little notch. You won't see it because it's the bottom of the book. And you'll see why in a moment. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to remove this . So here we are, here's our book all ready to fold. Now it's really simple. It's really simple to follow now. We've got our little notch here. You can see your little notch that I put there. I broke my nails as well, so a bit of a disastrous day today. Your first part here, just fold up to the spine. Just make sure it's level with your book here and crease it down. This one, the centre one, gets folded right into the spine as well. If you fold your centre in first and then fold this over, it gives a nice clean little line when the book's all folded. Then this one only gets folded quarter way to that little mark that we made. Do you remember the little mark? That little notch. Now just make sure you keep it flush with this side of the book and fold. And that's it. So that gives us the shape. That gives us this shape. And that's the steps to your cake. So we'll just do the next one. Move it up a little bit so you can see it all in. Remember our little notches here for this part. So fold the middle. Fold your top. It just keeps that part flush with that and it lets you get your edge straight here. And then fold this one to your little notch that you have. and keep it flush with the bottom. And that's it. That is basically your folds for your cake. So the hardest part is just working out your steps. So this one gets folded in 1/4, this one gets folded in half, and this one is folded in 3/4 of the way. So I'll just do a few more folds. Now this is our huge book fold all finished. So when we stand it up, this is what we've got. If you can see it. Now I'll show you the rest of it in a little minute, but I want to point something out. When you do your book fold in such a big book, when you try to put it together, you're going to notice that this side is shorter than this side. So when we did our book folding, this is where we started from this side. And it's had a much longer chance to curl in tighter. So when we go to glue it, you need to use some hot glue or something that's really strong. Now when we go to glue it, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take quite a bit of this book and we're going to have to pull it over like this. So you have to push this end in, and that brings your pages neat. I've got a few folds that I need to fix here. There are a few that are just stick out a bit. But so what I'm going to do is I am going to hot glue halfway down the book and then I'm going to turn it around. But before I do that, I'm going to pull my camera out so you could see this cake. Now this is how big this cake is. Okay everyone, so let's get this project finished off. So remember what I said about this part. When I put the hot glue in, I'm going to have to pull it like this to get these evened up. You won't see this part anyway, so I'm going to get my hot glue gun and I'm going to put some glue 1/4 of the way down, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it upside down. I lost my glue stick. So please be careful with the hot glue because it is hot. Now I'm just going to turn it upside down and put some glue on the bottom. It doesn't take long for hot glue. I'm just going to put it down here. It doesn't take long for hot glue to dry. So I'm just going to squish some in here and pull the pages together and make sure they're level like we did at the top. And then I'm going to turn it around, and then you just have to spend some time and fluff up the pages. It does fluff up really well as long as you've done at least a book with 400 odd pages. Now this is all fluffed up and this is the cake. Now to decorate the cake, I've just put some silk flowers down, and my sister Sandra suggested putting the little favour boxes around, And my other sister June also suggested that you could put cupcakes instead of the boxes and the flowers. You can decorate your cake whatever way you want. It's your cake. Now this is a smaller one that I made. I just used a smaller book. It was still over 400 folds though. The edging I've put around, I made the lace edging with a Martha Stewart punch. Now you can decorate them any way you want. You can decorate them for babies, boys and girls. I'd like to thank all my subscribers who have subscribed so far, and I'd like to thank everyone for watching the video. Now please subscribe and look out for the next one. And give this a little try, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.